Hello, I'm Alida, your writing coach at Word Essential. Tonight, we are going to talk about sex. Okay, not really. We are going to talk about writing sex scenes because storycraft is just as important to your sex scene as it is to every other scene. So, if this topic or that word makes you a little uncomfortable, you might want to skip this video. If not, let's dive in. I had a client email me the other day. She said, "So, I'm confused again. I hate it. I hate being confused. So here's my problem. I was considering exactly how to write love sex scenes, and I decided to read some articles. Why is everyone giving different advice? Don't they know I'm clueless even without this additional confusion? I read in an article that for a good love/sex scene, the author should try and play the cosmic card. WTF is that? WTF is that? Indeed. I don't know what the cosmic card is, do you? I've never heard of it before. So, the problem a lot of writers have with writing a sex scene is that we're a little bit uncomfortable with it. Even if we love ourselves and our bodies and our partners, when it comes to putting our characters in that situation and then sending it off into the world for hopefully millions of strangers to read, it can make us, the author, feel a little bit vulnerable. For one thing, as we all know, a lot of readers think that the main character is the author, thinly veiled. It makes you feel like holding up a big sign that says, "That wasn't me." Really, that scarlet A, it's not for author. So, how do we go about writing a sex scene? The same way you go about writing any other scene. First, look at your characters and your story. Are these characters jumping in the sack for love or lust? And are they being tender? Or are they banging each other? Is there anger involved or maybe greed? Are they using each other? What is motivating them to have sex right now with this particular other character? And what do they risk by having sex? Remember, fiction is all about action, reaction. We need consequences to drive your plot forward. So, is your main character going to risk discovery, shame, guilt, a loss of another relationship? Or maybe at this point in the story, it's not as much about risk as it is about developing this relationship so that it can go to a new place. But keep in mind, even in a perfectly loving, sound relationship, it's good to have some risk. Maybe the person feels self-conscious or vulnerable. So don't forget to look at risk. The second thing you need to consider are the goals you have in mind for your story. What effect do you want this to have on your reader? Do you want your reader to feel that the scene is sweet or tender? Maybe it's hot or even dangerous. Now, your character's point of view and the world you're building always factor in, as do your audience considerations. So decide why you need this sex scene. How does it impact your characters, your plot, and your theme? Those are the critical considerations when writing any scene. And lastly, do not focus on the mechanicals, that becomes, well, either boring or pornographic. When you sit down and first envision the scene, yes, you need to choreograph it. So you need to think about whether Joe is touching Sally's elbow or her knee. And then, after you figure out what goes where, move beyond that. How does Sally feel when Joe touches her knee? What does it mean? Does it make her nervous or excited? Does she enjoy it, or does it make her more self-conscious? So factor in the experience, the feel, the vicarious living of this scene that your reader will do, and write the sex scene in the tone of the book as a whole. So, here's your 60-second writing tip. I'm going to distill all of that down into some very simple points. When you write a sex scene, you need to know why your characters are getting in bed with each other, how this will affect your characters, your plot, or your theme, what your goals are for the effect of this scene upon the reader, and don't focus on the mechanicals, please. Focus on the character's experience of having sex at that time with that particular person. And that's how you'll write a good sex scene. I'm Alida Winternheimer, your writing coach at Word Essential. Find this and other great tips at wordessential.com. And while you're at it, please like, tweet, and share.